Okay. Ta-da. Hello. Hello, everyone. My hair is really straight today. Oh, the commercial started. What? That's so quick. It usually takes forever for me to load the video. Hi everyone. Hi. Can you guys hear me okay? Cause I didn't really test the mic today, so I'm not really sure if you guys can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me. Oh, seems to be okay. There's a cable for the camera. Hi everyone. Hi. Oh, getting so many comments. Yay. Okay, sounds good. Ooh, yay. Alrighty. So give me a lot of comments today because I haven't prepared anything. It was like a big Q&A, and I do have some questions for you guys. I asked literally everywhere on the. I didn't know like people are actually looking at the what is it called, the post thingy on YouTube. I never really post anything. I started it when I found that feature, but then I was like, well, I'm only getting like 2 or 3 likes or something for the post, and I'm like, okay, because like you have to like keeping track of like where you post what. Like did I post on Instagram? Like did I post on Twitter? Like where am I interacting with you guys? And so, whoa, that quickly, whoa, okay, 30 people. So yeah, I was like, so but this time like I realized that like you guys actually see my post on YouTube. So I posted on YouTube, and then I posted on Twitter, and I posted on Instagram, and it was only Instagram story, so it's already gone. It's been 24 hours. And so I don't know, maybe if you have if you missed any you missed my the post, then you can type it in here if you have any questions. So let me know. Seems to be only streaming at 480p. I have no idea why that's happening. I haven't really changed any setting though. Maybe just like internet is a little slow. That's a possibility. So yeah, I'm gonna go through a little bit of comments because like seems like you guys are like, hi, how are you? I'm good. Oh, so sorry about last week. So I couldn't wear contact lenses for about a week. So, but now I can. So yeah. Long story short, I basically hit my eyeball, like literally my eyeball, at the corner of a bookshelf. So it was before the class, like English class, and the little kid was like, "Oh, I dropped something behind the cabinet." And I was like, "Okay, don't worry." And then I pull out the cabinet, and then I tried to reach down, and then I was, looking at the. It was like a sticker, and then I was like looking at the sticker, so I wasn't like looking at where things are around me currently. And then before you know it, like the corner of the bookshelf was like right there. And then I hit my eye with it. And I was like, yeah, I don't think I closed my eye. And I looked at the mirror, and then you can see a little red spot. I was like, ugh. But hopefully it's just like a bruise. And then, well, anyway, I had to teach a class. So I did teach class, like 2 classes back to back. And then I had a little break. So like, okay, I'm just going to look in the mirror once again. And then you can kind of see the clear cut, like horizontal cut in your eyeball. I was like, okay, that's not good. And so but it was like, I think it was like around like 7 or 8 p.m. So of course all of the clinics are closed, right? And the only option that you can take is to go to the ER. It's like, I have to look up which hospital is the ER today, because like not every hospital is open at nighttime. And then I looked up, and those are one of the big hospitals around here. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna take a cab, and I'm just gonna go. And then I went, but there's only a few doctors there. That's usually how it happens. And it was like only a surgeon for like a stomach or something. And he was like, I can't really do anything with the eye, but as far as I look into your eye, there is a cut. And so I recommend you to go to the eye doctor the next morning. So I went, and then the eye doctor was like, yeah. And she was laughing about the fact that I hit my eye with the corner of the bookshelf. And she was like, what? How that happened? Right? I was like, yeah, I don't know. And then she took a look at it and she was like, yeah, I gotta decide whether or not it needs stitches, like stitches, right? Like in your eye. But she took some pictures to make sure like I don't have like there is no damage inside of the eyeball, and because like eyeball is very squishy, so like when you hit eye, sometimes like inside is getting more damage than the outside, and so. But it seems like everything was fine. It was just a little scratch like on the surface of it, and so she prescribed me two different kinds of eye drops, and that was it. And then she told me to put them in a couple times a week, and then she was like, as long as like like it looks healed, and then there is no vision impaired comparison. I forgot the word. If there's like if you're not seeing any spots or like black spots or anything like that, and then it should be fine. I'm like, okay, cool. So yeah, I'm good. So okie dokie. So that was like my long impairment. Here we go. Yeah. So I should go with the. Okay, hold on. I should go with the questions that I got. Okay. Interestingly, I got questions on Instagram and then YouTube, but not from Twitter. Interesting. Twitter people are like, oh, it's so sad. It's your last live stream. And then those it. It's like, where is your question? So, anyway. Okay. So, okay. If I mispronounce her name, sorry. I tried to, introduce her name as well. Marlo Pete. Do you prefer Japan with tourists or without tourists? With tourists. I think it's for Japanese economy and it's just fun, you know. Um, Alpha Mike 2019. Do you have any big plans for soon? Actually, yes. I don't know if I ever mentioned it. Did I mention it? I forgot. I really don't like. I don't know. It's been 2 weeks, so maybe I didn't mention it. So I am going to Tokyo. Next week. Next week, somewhere around there. Somewhere in June. And well, actually, I'm going to Tokyo, and then I'm going to Kagoshima as well. So 2 places, and this will be the first trip to somewhere that I need to take a plane in 2 years, 2.5 years, like since COVID broke out. So crazy, crazy. I don't know if I know how to, pack everything and then take the plane. I was like, where should I go? That's a possibility. Or like I may forget something. Yeah. The big reason, like this is not like a, travel type of thing. It's like, well, one person is to make a video because I haven't really made any videos. And then like the reason why I was like doing like live stream every week was because like I wanted to make a lot of videos outside, but like it's COVID, and then I live in a freaking countryside, so like people are very kind of like sensitive about the whole thing. And so I was like kind of trying to refrain from it from shooting, and especially like if I go out to cafe and eat something, like that's not really good during COVID. And also like I was kind of focusing on my English school, and and to like get more students, because like if I don't take care of my school well enough during COVID, like learning English is not so necessarily for people who are living in the countryside. And so there would be like they would easily prioritize something else. So I had to take a good care of it, and I had to advertise it, and I tried to make sure that I would have constant new students whatsoever. So I was like a little bit focusing on it. But this spring, this school year starts from April. So like we usually get new students in spring or in spring, and but the past 2 years we didn't really get any. Like we didn't have like a big chunk of new students trying to contact me and then like get trial lessons or anything like that. But this year they all came back. Yeah. So I think this is around the time that I can probably split my focus between the school and then YouTube as well. So that, and I have a little bit of big surprise that like, well, yeah. So I will be making a video with somebody, not Norm, just so you know, but somebody. That's the whole reason why I'm going to Tokyo. And I was like a little bit unsure that if I was able to film, but he said okay. So yes, it'll be fun. It'll be fun. I'm a little bit nervous though. So that's the big plan. All right, next question. What is the best thing? It's Mr. Toby. What is the best thing about living in the inaka? Inaka is the countryside. The best thing is that it's very spacious. Like Tokyo is like very packed, you know. Um, so especially during pandemic, like you have to take trains and then like you have to be in a like packed train. And of course, like there are many companies that who recommended working from home, but that's mostly limited to IT companies. So if you're working for something else, then you have to actually go to commute by train, right? And also, I feel like there are less crazy people. I guess like the percentage of crazy people are pretty much same in everywhere, but like we have less population than Tokyo, so less crazy people number wise, not percentage wise. What else? I kind of like driving, so I prefer maybe drive rather than take a train. So that might be good. What else? What else? Oh, everything is cheap. Like rent is cheap. If you want to hire somebody, that's cheap. Um, yeah, but that means like you can also get too much money. So I don't know. Mm. But still, it's pretty cheap. If you want to raise kids, maybe the countryside is better because it's not so like it's not so difficult to get your own house, if especially if you're okay with the used house. And then so like people who are living in the countryside tend to have more than two kids, like two three kids, but like in the city they have very like one kid, and then maybe two maximum. All right, next question. uh sorry, I can't read. Giovanni Grifa, I don't know. Would you support counter poaching ideally? I don't think nobody is supporting like nobody supports poaching. Poaching is something that you hunt illegally, right? Like for the ivory or something. Everybody knows that's illegal, and everybody knows it's not bad, and it's bad, and everybody knows that that's something that we should stop. But yeah, but I think it's very difficult because like people who do that are tend to be surviving off of those income, like illegal income. So if there is any safe or like easy job or make enough money job, and then they would have switched to that kind of job already, right? They don't risk their life for that because like if they got caught, you have to go to the prison or something, right? Because it's illegal. But the reason why they do that, because that's the only choice that they have, so in order to stop those, that sounds very tough. if I'm answering it right. Maybe it's a totally different thing. I googled it and I was like, what is poaching? Okay. Did I skip anything? Okay, here. Mooneyman 0105. Would you like? I would like to see I would like to see you someday and talk a future vision. Let's do it. Let's do it. I like to talk. It's Mr. Toby. Have you noticed there are less tourists in Shikoku now than before COVID? I think so. I think so. Like if you go to like Dogo area or like touristy sites, and then you would see like a couple of foreigners, but like the foreign tourists. Okay, well, I was like somehow tourists. Foreigners, absolutely none. Is beside the people who obviously live in Ehime. And other tourists, we gain a little tourist because they think that Shikoku has no people. So actually, right before COVID broke out, and then when the government was like kind of like supporting, giving out some money for people who wants to travel for some reason, and spread the virus. Let's go. And then they stopped. But when they had the stupid idea of like encouraging people to go other prefectures, and many people chose Shikoku, because they thought that there are less people. Iron Wedge 80. Why do Japanese people always want everything to be perfect? Japanese people are perfectionist. Yeah, I think that's a common sense. How can I say? But I don't think they want to be so perfectionist, and then they think it's like, I think not so many people think that they want to be so perfect. It's just from the others, like other people's view, like from people from other countries, they would see us being very perfectionist. So I think that's like one of the things that we being like, I don't know. I really don't know. It's like a culture, like you have to be very precise. It's kind of like Japanese people tend to be very polite, that something to do with very like with culture, I think. Ooh, Gary Chan, thank you. Thank you for $11. Thank you. Will you fly with Norm once he got his pilot answers? Wow, you have been following Norm too. Like I wasn't sure. Like, can I? But he released the video, so it should be fine. Like I knew that he was gonna, move to Kagoshima and get the pilot license from long time ago. But I was like, I don't know if I can share that information, or I just don't know. So but yes, I am planning on hopping on a plane. But so it'll be like Cessna plane, and it takes a little while to get to a place. Seems like because we were talking that like maybe sometime like I go to Kagoshima, or like yeah, I go to Kagoshima, and then he would take me to back to Matsuyama. We talked about it once, and then it'll take like, well, by plane, like regular like jumbo jet, and then it'll take only like how many hours? 2 hours? Like less than 2 hours, like 1.5 hours or something. But then if you take Cessna, it'll take like 5 hours. So like maybe not 5 hours. So like I will ask him to take me to somewhere really close, you know. So, but yeah, that's my plan. I don't know about I don't know about him though. I haven't asked him. And where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Okay. Are you going to do another video collaboration with Greg from Life Where I'm From? Enjoy seeing your hometown in the countryside. Have a great day. We did a collaboration a long time ago though. Like, of course it was like before COVID. That was fun. That was fun. Like that was actually a surprise visit for me. because Norm and Greg, that's his name, right? Wait, Greg? His name is Greg? Yeah, Greg. Okay. I was like, Norm and Greg were friends, and then he was gonna make like a driving video or something, and then Norm asked me if it was okay for him to introduce me to Greg, and I was like, sure, why not? And then Greg came. Then I took him around, and yeah, and then we made a video together. But that was fun. That was like a very very I liked it. I liked the style because like he was like, oh, can you sit here, and then I'll ask questions like, can you talk about this and this and this. So there's like a light plot, and then he would just like give me some questions, like I just need to answer the question. So it was very formal style of kind of like Q&A type. So yeah, it was fun. I'm up for it if he wants to. Like he's okay with collaborating. Uh okay. I think a lot of people are commenting here as well. But Aris Aris said, どうしてめっちゃ悲しいことです. I think it's about the my live stream being the last one. So to clarify, last means last live stream for a while. So I did a survey the other day because like, well, I was getting okay. So it's none of your fault. Maybe it's like YouTube algorithm or something. I have no idea. And then I was talking with another creator about the how YouTube system work or whatever. And so since I started live streaming, and I like the reason why I started live streaming was because I wanted to put out some contents, and then one thing I could do was like a live stream because it's already dark at night. It's like around like it's almost 11 p.m. And so there's not like I can't really go anywhere. And so I was like, well, and I was like, as I said, I was like focusing on school thing as well. So I was like, well, I can't really take much time off to make a interesting video. So, but I want to keep uploading some content. So I was like, okay, I can do live stream, right? So I did live stream, and then what was I gonna say? Then every time I release the one like new live streaming, and then I will see the huge drop in my subscribers. And I thought it was like the first couple of times because first time that you do something new, and then it'll trigger YouTube algorithm, or the some people might be like, I don't like live streams, so like I'm just gonna unsubscribe or something. I have no idea what's happening, but I thought it'll stop after a couple of times, right? And but it didn't. So it keeps going down and down and down and down. So I was like, okay, maybe I need a new strategy. And then also I was like asking you guys like in many different platforms, like, what do you think about me doing like weekly live streams? And then most of the people are like very supportive, saying like, hey, you just do whatever you want. And then like, yeah, I always do whatever I want. And but at the same time there are like few people saying like, well, maybe like once a week, once a month is fine. Or they would be like, well, I don't really need like any theme. So like like last time I was like talking about the gyudon restaurant, right? And so that was because for me it's easy to start the conversation. And so and then I picked some like Japanese news because I thought that might be something that we both are kind of interested in. And however, many people are like, yeah, like just like simple Q&A is fine. I was like, so maybe like that's why I decided to do Q&A today. And it seems like I'm having like more like people. And so I was like, yeah, I guess that's better. But yeah, so that's the reason. And so I'm thinking of like reducing how many times I would do the live stream, maybe like once a month. I don't know, maybe once in 2 months. I have no idea. But then somebody else asked the question as well. But like then I want to switch to more like a video, like going back to like a vlog, or like going back to like introducing Ehime and some other places. I have few ideas in my mind, and so yeah, Like I was going to shoot last week, but then I got the eye thing, so I couldn't really make a video. And so probably starting from like this, but it's gonna hit the rainy season, so I have to figure out the time. But yeah, so I will be trying to make more videos rather than live stream, and seems like everyone is fine. Like with me, like introducing the like maybe let's say like Dogo or like new shop or something like that. So I thought like people were kind of like bored with it, but like okay, if I can show around like Matsuyama again, then I'm up for it. So that's where I'm going to. Yeah. And so yeah, that's all. And I just wanted to say thank you. That's why I put thank you on the thumbnail. No, no, not that one. This one. Okay. Do Japanese? Oh, okay, this is interesting. Crease. Do Japanese women still want to get married, or is their job busy and interesting enough for them? This is very interesting. I tried to be very quick about this because I want to go through all the questions. I want to see your comments as well. So, so I personally thought the Japanese women still want to get married, but because of the bad economy, yada yada yada, and they just can't get married. But seems like I was looking up the some statistic, and there was like an interview or like survey to young Japanese female, like around 20 or 21. They just turned adults, right? And they asked them that if they want to get married in the future. And up to like last year, almost like 80%, 90% women said yes, sometime in their lives that they want to get married. But uh, this year, I think this year was the lowest. That it was like almost like 70%, only 70% of females said they wanted to get married. So it was like pretty much like 10%, 20% drop, right? And so I was like, okay, so maybe you're right. The Japanese women don't want to get married right now. And I'm trying to think of the reason, but the main reason is because the the finance issue that we have to pay a lot of money to live, right? But our salary don't increase, and raising kids is tougher than ever. And so like yeah, we all get jobs, and some women are more focused on their career, but unlike other like developed countries, um, Japanese males don't really support housework, and they still think that many of them, not everyone, but like many of Japanese males still think that like housework is for women, and then raising children is for women. And so basically, if you want to keep the job, you have to work like almost the double shift. Like you have to do the housework, and then you have to work outside of the house full time, right? Or you just give it all up. You know what I mean? And especially, yeah, like there are like many other ways to work. Like you can do part time and stuff like that. But in Japan, it's beside the fact that you have some sort of like programming skill or something that you can do at home or something like that. Only part-time jobs that you can get is like cashier at the supermarket, or delivery service, or a convenience store, or like cleaning stuff or something. So that's not really a career, right? And so like I think lots of like corporations outside of Japan would accept many different types of like working style. Some people work full time, some people come in only a couple of days a week, and then I think that they would accept many different types of work style, but not so much in Japan, I think. Yeah, if you get like a programming or something, then you can work everywhere, but that's like only for a few people. So, yeah. Okay. Okay. Contact. Alt question. But did you watch Tom and Jerry when growing up? Kinda, yeah. Not that wasn't really my you know priority as a child. I grew up with Pokemon for sure. I'm like Pokemon first generation. I loved Pikachu. I think I had a talking Pikachu stuffed animal in my house. Um, Tom and Jerry. I remember it's a weird story, but I remember watching Tom and Jerry at the hair salon that we used to go to. I don't remember me getting my hair cut there because it was like more like a hair salon, not for kids, you know. But they had like a little kids section, and they had a little toy, and then they have storybooks and whatnot while their parents are getting their haircut. And so I remember while my mom is getting her haircut, I was waiting in the toy room, and then there was always Tom and Jerry. But I think it's too loud. Like if they put on some like Crayon Shinchan or Doraemon or Pokemon or something, and then that would disturb other customers, like grown up customers without kids. And so I think there was only one choice for them to put on Tom and Jerry because we don't need any sound. So like I really enjoyed it. Yeah, it's a very common, like popular cartoon in Japan as well. Okay. Shinshiraishi. Are you Japanese? Shinshiraishi. Rich life in Japan. Ask Norm. Okay, so I might be able to answer that question, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how that's gonna turn out. So I really can't promise you guys. But okay, so the reason why I'm going to Tokyo is because I'm going to meet up with somebody, and he is a billionaire. So I might be able to squeeze a little information from him. I don't know. He he's a person who started a chain store in Japan almost 10 years ago. And the store is like literally everywhere in Japan. And I was like, I don't think there is one in Matsuyama, and there was one or two. Yeah, I don't know if it's popular, but what he did was he started the store and then expanded the business up to 600 stores throughout the nation, and then he sold it, and that's how he got the tons of money. So, and I was talking to him on Twitter the other day, and then we ended up like meet in Tokyo, and I asked him like, "Can I film?" And he was like, "Yeah, sure." So yes, yeah. So I have no idea how it's not like we are making a YouTube video. Like he's gonna be in my video of going to Tokyo after 2.5 years type of thing, and then he'll be just like in the video, just like second or two. And if our conversation is very interesting, I would put a little bit longer. But like he's Japanese, so he can only speak Japanese. So it'll be like in Japanese, English subtitle, right? I don't want to put a lot of subtitles, so it's too much work. And yeah, I'm lazy. So yeah, so yeah, that's rich life, I guess. Okay, couple of other. There are so many questions. Thank you, guys. All right. Okay, this is interesting. It's Mr. Toby. Like, did you put like 10 questions? Well, thank you. Where do you see yourself in 10 years? 10 years. I'm 29. I'm 29 right now, so in my 30s, right? So in my 30s, well, okay, first of all, I want to focus on YouTube a little bit more. Now the English school is kind of settled down. But the whole reason why I'm like going to Tokyo and I talk to this billionaire is because I don't know if I'm just to stay at a small English school and then focus on my YouTube video, because we have less kids every year. Like childbirth rate is going down and down and down, like the past like 50 years or something. And so since I'm focusing on kids, maybe it's not a good business model, or I would start franchising, or I would start expanding my school business in some sort. So I will be doing that. So I think I've used the past 10 years of my life to build up my brand, build up my YouTube channel, build up my school, and build up myself, right? And so I think from now to like, the next 10 years, I think it'll be the time for me to kind of like sort things out and then expand. Okay. Rick Henning. Do you have partners in any of your ventures, other English teachers? I am looking for English teachers, but one, because of the COVID, foreigners can't come into Japan. I've heard a couple of other English schools or other language schools that they are paying for the teachers who they hired outside of Japan for the past year or so, even though they are not be able to come into Japan and actually do their work. So I was afraid that would happen. So I haven't been like actively looking for English teachers, but that's my hope to find one or two. But I still have few things to figure out. I would rather have a native English speakers come into Japan, and then while they're working towards their Japanese skills, like you have to get at least N2 in JLPT in order to get a regular job, like beside English teacher. And so I want to start a business somewhere, like let's say like I would offer you a job to become an English teacher, but I don't want you to end there. Like I want you to be the I want the English teaching job to be the start of your life in Japan. Like not that I'm saying like English teaching job is the bad job, um, but I think if you can't speak Japanese well, or more like if you can't read and write Japanese, there's no job in Japan that you can work for. And so, but getting into level is very, very difficult. And so I would rather just help you guys to get to N2 level, and while you are working as a English teacher, that means you can actually come to Japan. Like I think like learning like your second language is better if you are actually living in that country, because you have to learn culture as well. Especially as somebody asked me, Japan is a very perfectionist country that they don't accept any mistakes whatsoever, and so there are like very different, right? So I think you have to get used to the culture. So that's kind of my business model that I'm kind of trying to build onto, but there are many things that I have to do. So yep. Okay, I think I answered that question. Jeffrey Young WH. um why don't you go back to the old model of Ehime based YouTube video? See, this is not just him. There are many people who are saying that. So yeah, I am going back to that. Have you ever visited the Taga Shrine in Uwajima, Ehime? No, I haven't. Uwajima is very far from here. What's it like in Japan? What's it like in Japan? I don't know. I don't go out anymore. But Jasmine got married, so I went to Jasmine's wedding the other day. That was fun. So that's the news that I have at the moment. Seems like Jasmine has a YouTube channel now. So if you're interested, Jasmine is doing some sort of like reaction video. Like, I don't know, is that a thing? Like, you watch something and you react to it. And then she's actually running the YouTube channel with a guy named Steve. Yeah. So who are the politicians? Who are the politicians? Okay, Tamiko or Kimura. Okay, who are the politicians or activists trying to make a more equitable society for women and minority groups? Are the young people standing up for a more equitable life, or is it a bro be bro situation? I don't understand the saying of a bro be bro situation. Sorry, uh, but I actually look it up, but I didn't see any. Well, I don't know if you meant feminist by that. There are feminists in Japan, yeah, but other than that, I can't really find any source that says like, this person, this activist or this politicians. Like, activists, maybe, feminists. There are like a bleh, feminist group in Japan, of course, but politicians, not so much, not so much. Yeah, only a very few female politicians in Japan anyway. So, to be successful as a politician in Japan, you have to suck it up to the elderly citizens. Period. Because more than half of the populations are over 60 or something. So all they want is an easy life towards the end, and they don't want to pay much money, and they want to live off a good pension. And so, yeah, but they have the majority of the votes when the government decides anything. So every single politician would suck it up to the old people, so younger people and female and other handicapped people or whatever. uh we're all ignored. So that's the reality, guys. um what is this? If your YouTube channel grows above 1 million subs, ooh, that would be nice, and earning slightly more than the school you are running, will stop teaching. Oh, by the way, I just realized. So PewDiePie is finally in Japan now. It's not that I know them. I just saw that the tweet somewhere. Okay, so yeah, if my channel grow to be a over 1 million subs, and maybe before that, like, so there might be slight misunderstanding there, because like there's a misunderstanding because like I haven't really explained anything. But so it's not that I don't like teaching, or it's not that I don't like kids. I love kids and love teaching, and I enjoy every day of teaching. But if I am teaching, then there is no future in this business, because I'm the only one. Like, there is only limited things that I can do as a one person. If I can duplicate myself, then that's another story. But unfortunately, you can't do that. And or if I don't have to sleep at all, or but even if like I don't have to sleep at all, if I can't duplicate myself, then like there are like if I'm talking about the well, we were talking about English schools, like there are only limited amount of time that like kids can come in and for the lessons, right? So yeah, so even if like I can stay up all night, there's nothing I can do during the night, so it doesn't really solve the problem. So in order to succeed in business, you have to build a structure first, and you have to let other people do the work that you have been doing. And so I've been focusing on making a structure, and then I'm almost done with it. And so now I have the curriculum that don't really need any of my attention, and I have a system that if the students and the teacher follow the path, they will be able to easily pass ACAN test, and then they will be able to speak English to the level that they can, like, anytime they can study abroad. For me, I would say to be able to naturally speak English, you have to go to the English speaking country, because, as I said earlier, to learn a second language or third language, you have to go to that country. That's the only way that you would get the feeling of it, like nuance and whatnot. But if your language skill is too low, and then you can't even pick it up the natural way of saying and things like that, because you don't understand the most part of what the other people are saying. So the best way is that you would learn the pop culture in that country, and then you would learn the basic vocabularies and like grammar and whatnot. So you'll be able to at least understand what other people are saying, right? And then, so between Japan and America, or in English speaking countries, the culture is a lot different, you know. So we can't just like learn the language, we have to learn the culture, because like we were talking about American food the other day, but none of the kids would know what tacos are, what nachos, what grilled cheese sandwich, what oatmeal is, you know? So if those things would pop up, they're like, what? You know, they don't even know, they don't even recognize that those are food, you know? So my job first is to, for them to be able to understand the name of the things, and then, like, you know, understand the pop culture. Because like in Japan, we don't talk about religion, we don't talk about like any, like literally we don't really talk about anything in details. And so I have to teach them history, I have to teach them like religion, and then like just like basic information, you know. We don't go that deep, because like I'm dealing with like elementary school kids. um but yeah, like have to know the like like those things in order to be able to um get take advantage of the whole studying abroad program when they did. So what was I talking about? What was I talking about? But anyway, but that is very depending on the person who you were talking to. So like if the teacher would have that kind of like experience, then they can talk about like, oh, you should know this, like this is the pop culture, and then this is something that you should know, this is the slang, yada yada yada. But if there is a Japanese person, if there is a you know, let's say a person who speaks English pretty good, but maybe the person is not from America or the UK or something like that, and then they can't really talk about the things that I would talk about, and that's totally fine. So I would put all my knowledge that I have into the textbook, and as long as they follow, they will be able to consume all the necessarily culture and the language that they need in order to go study abroad. So then I'm not no longer needed, because I put every know-how into the curriculum. So I'm ready to pass it on to somebody else. So any takers? Any takers? So yeah, yeah. Even if I'm not up to the point where I go over 1 million subs on YouTube, I would probably let somebody take over my business. I mean, you know, I'll be the CEO, of course, but like, you know, you can do the teaching part. What are the different kinds of visas and how to apply for them? Is it worth attending a Japanese language school in Japan? There are so many questions. When will foreign travelers arrive back into the country, and are there restrictions, if any? How has business been going? Are you still planning to travel Europe to learn better language school practices? I have many questions. I have more questions to ask if you'd like to see more. Yeah, for the next time maybe. There are many visas, and I'm working on one visa. I think I dropped a question as well. I'm working on the video of a visa called a startup visa. That's a new visa, and I think that's very, very helpful for anyone who wants to start a business in Japan, because that allows you to come to Japan, I think 6 months or 1 year in advance. And then the city or the prefecture that you will be living in will help you to set up the business. Well, you need to pay the fee and whatnot. Like I think that you have to have like 5 million yen in your bank account, and then to invest it into your company. But before, you had to have a Japanese partner who would lend you the bank account and then the name and then all that. So it was kind of a gamble if you don't know anyone in Japan, because there's a high possibility that Japanese person would take out all the money you put in and then just be gone, right? So it was like very, very risky. But with this startup visa, there might not be that kind of issue. Yeah. So I want to talk about that. And Japanese language school. I don't know. I really don't know. Never been to Japanese language school. So I'm not sure. But if you want to come to Japan and then actually live and work, then you have to have at least N2 level. Yeah. Foreign travelers. I think not restriction, but like the border has been lifted up. Has been lifted up. Will be lifted up. I think if from June 10th or something, sometime in June, the government will be lifting up the borders for travelers from certain countries like America or UK or maybe Australia. I don't know. But it's a small group tours only, and has to be like it was like kind of guided tour, so something that everyone hates. So yeah. And then somebody else like shared the article with me earlier that they had like they run a trial run. They run a trial run to invite some a small group of foreigners to do a little bit of like travel trip in Japan, going around town in Japan. I think it was like only in Kanto area, like Tokyo area. But seems like there are too many rules, and there was like a little free time, and it was like very, very Japanese, like everything has to be perfect. No one can be infected by the coronavirus, and because otherwise it'll be the failure, and we can't open up the border, and so like we have to be very strict to those foreigners, and then we have to look after every single person, what they do, and yeah, they are so picky. So I would recommend you to like call off if you are not in a hurry. How has business been going? Pretty good, as I said. I'm trying to expand. Are you still planning to travel Europe? But not. Well, I have kind of like built up my business, like I mean, the school already. So maybe it's not necessary for me to take a look at Finland. Was it Finland? I think I wanted to go to Finland. I think, and then like that was like during the COVID, so I couldn't go. But it'll be fun to look around. But I think it's not worth it anymore. Yeah. So, whew. Oh, yay! That's it. Well, that took 15 minutes. I'm gonna get some lemonade. Lemonade. Ah. This is not like a common drink that we drink, especially this is for little kids. But somehow, and you can only get these at the like summer festival, but somehow tons of these were sold in supermarket. So I was like, oh, dame. But I think there is like this cap doesn't open for some reason, so you can't take out the marble. Yum yum. Okay, I'll take a look. Ha ha ha. Sorry, so there are so many comments, and I was like, oh, sorry. Trying to go through. There are too many. So if you really want to ask me a question, that you can just like give me little like super chat, and then it will pop up so I can answer the question. But otherwise, I will just go like a kind of like a roulette, like whoo, and then I'll read the question. Um, Toby, do otaku tend to prefer idol groups that are in a familiar style or what? A familiar style, or is there an appetite for unique ones? Do you think? Um, Before it was like kind of like cute girls, like AKB, things like that were very popular, but there is one group. I think some of you know it. It's called Atarashii Gakko. That group is like so weird. Yeah. So maybe they're like, everyone is kind of getting bored with like just cute, and they're looking for some other kind of like some other different type, maybe. Let's see. Hope. Last live I answered that. Is there a local hack to buy fruit in Japan? It seems expensive to eat healthy food. Fruits. Fruits are very, very expensive. I barely buy fruits. Like I miss America in that way because like in the States, like you can buy any fruits, right? And so I like green grapes, so I often go to the supermarket. I get like a one big package of green grape, and then anything else? Like I like pears, I like apples, and I like blueberries, any sort of berries. Like I literally like any. I like peaches. I like plums. So yeah, like I love fruits, but in Japan it's so ridiculously expensive, and there's no way around it. You have to suck it up and buy it. Yeah, yeah, it's so sad. Du-du-du. Um, do you guys have questions, or you're kind of like talking to each other? Sherry, new business model, clone herself. Yeah, let's do it. Somebody is talking about Patreon. Yeah, I do have Patreon, so if you're interested, I upload video every day. Ta, 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 ta. You guys are not like leaving any. Okay, a lot of people are like, last live, right? That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. Has inflation hit Japan like it has hit in America? I don't think so. Well, like it's inflation, but it's a bad inflation. What is it called? I forgot what it's called. So inflation usually means that your income increase and the expense increase. When you want to buy a bottle of water, it's used to be maybe like 90 cents, but now it's like 120 or 120, $1.20, not 120, $1.20. But even if the price go up, the income go up. So it doesn't really matter. But now everything's price is going up when the salary is staying the same or going down. So it is kind of an inflation, but it is also a deflation. And I don't know what it's called, but that's what it is. Because Americans, I've heard somewhere the Americans' average salary is 6 million yen, so 60,000 yen, $60,000 per year. Like that's an average. Whereas Japan is $40,000, and that's about the same as 20 years ago. So, yeah. You're dressed up differently today. You are dressed up differently today. Is it for a special occasion? Not really. Not really. Do I look like very formal? This is not really formal. Like this is not like like this is not even like blouse, right? The reason why I'm wearing this is that like I realized after I put this on, like, oh, I have a live stream today, but I was having a little meeting with a trial student. So the mother comes with the children, and so I usually put on a little bit nicer, more professional looking clothes. Oh, by the way, I threw away most of my clothes the other day. I haven't done that since like when I was in high school. It's crazy, right? And I threw most of the clothing away, things that I haven't worn in the past like 2 years. And now I need to go get some clothes. I need to buy some clothes. But okay, usually I finish off around like 50 minutes and it's been 1 hour. So I will finish up in like maybe next 2 minutes or so. I will answer some questions and I'll be done. Hyperinflation. Yeah, I think so. I think it's a hyperinflation. I think so. Price go up and income go down. Hi, are you single? Yes, I'm single. I thought that was like common knowledge. I'm not married. Kendama? That's hilarious. On a scale 1 to 5, how is your kendama skill? I will say 2. Yeah, I would say 2. Not horrible, but not great. What? Don't answer that. Answer what? Oh, I work at major global bank. Cool. The market analysis there think open tourism for Japan will start September, October time. Ooh, okay. My birthday. They don't think Japan will open until after the elections are complete. That is true. That is so true. That is very true. All right. Okay. So, How are you, Sherry? I'm good. How are your cats? They're fine. They're fine. Thank you for asking. I have 4 cats. Uh, Everyone is getting a little bit old, so we have to take like almost every other day. My mom is taking one of the cats to the vet, but they're fine at the moment. Yeah. 時間は多い. Yeah, 時間は多い. So okay, this is probably a weird topic to finish off this live stream, even though like when I'm saying like this is the last live stream for a while, right? But this is something you should know if you're a guy. Okay, so chikan, right? um and in Japan, yes, we have many chikan, and especially in Tokyo area. So if you're a guy and if you're on a train, you have to put your both of your hands above your head, like you can like grab the ring thing, right? Don't put down one hand or other or both, okay? Because there are so many girls who would just like grab anybody's hand that's like, ah, chikan desu, right? And then um once you were done that, your life is over. Even if you have done anything, you're done. And there are many people who would try to go to like, and then like when it happens, usually those girls like sometimes like they actually do chikan though, but it doesn't matter. Like the fact doesn't matter. And usually when that happens, you have to get off at the next station, and then you'll be reported to the train staff, the station staff, right? And then there are like a little room called ekinshitsu or something, and then many people try to go there so that they can prove that they are innocent. But once you step inside of the room, you're done. You're done. And there was like one person, actually there was a the accident the other day. There was one person who was who was caught by doing chikan, but I don't like, nobody knows if he actually did it or not, and that's not the point. And then he was dragged into the ekinshitsu, the staff room, and then he tried to escape from that room, and then he fell from the window or whatever, and he fucking died. Sorry, excuse my language, but yeah, he freaking died. I was gonna say freaking, and it came out a little wrong. Yeah, so it is a serious issue in that sense. But on that note, yeah, the young like students, like female students, sometimes do that to get some money. Yeah, so that is true. So if you got caught by that, like not even if you're not doing anything, and if somebody like grab your arm and say like, "Hey, this is chikan," right? And then if that girl, or like usually it's done by group, so there is like a girl, and then like a what is it? Like a like feeding, like kind of like a bait, as a bait. And then there will be usually like a kind of like Yankee looking guys, and then they would be like, you have to pay money, or like we're gonna drag you to the police or something. If that happens, like I think you should just like pay, because like probably they would ask you for like each money or something. Yeah. So, but okay. Okie dokie. So that's the end. That's the end. That's the end. I don't know. I don't know. But there are more people watching this live stream than before, so that's good. Yay! So before we finish, let's do thumbs up. Hit the like button, like we do every time. Like button, like button, like button, 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 button. No, nobody. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Now we're talking. Go, 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 go. Somehow this is something that we do. Hit the like button, like button. Yeah, this is like a ritual. Let's see how far we go. Ooh, yay, yay. Can we reach 200? Maybe not like right now, like 62, 61 people were watching. So have a great weekend. All right, so I'm gonna end the. I'm gonna hit the end stream button. All right, so have a good day or good night or good weekend or whatever. I don't know where you guys are from. So, yep. Ah, bye. 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 And bye.